Hello and welcome to this Ayni Secrets video where I'm going to be showing you how to make a chocolate shell. Not a seaside shell, a shell to put something in. You're going to need a silicone mould, nice and clean and shiny. Give it a wash in really hot soapy water, and then you can put it in the oven to dry, or a dehydrator if you've got one. And when it's completely dry, you don't want any water left behind because it'll damage the chocolate. Then you want to give it a polish with a cotton cloth, or you can use microfiber. You could even use a cotton bud. You're going to need a paintbrush, and you're going to need some chocolate. You don't want your chocolate to be too runny, otherwise it's just going to slide down the sides of the mould. So slightly thicker than you might want to, work with generally. If it gets too thick to work with, you can always warm it up, to loosen it off a little bit. So you're dipping your paintbrush in the chocolate and you're painting it onto the mould. That's it. Really? What more can I say? You're just going to go round and cover all of the mould up with chocolate. And be a little bit careful, not to immediately paint over an area that you've just painted, because you can pull some of the chocolate off. So just sort of, give it a little bit of waiting time before doing that. But, you're just going to put it in and out of the fridge to chill. That's a top tip actually. Before you start, if you put your mould into the fridge for a few minutes beforehand so that it cools, then the chocolate will stick that little bit quicker. It's not going to sort of slide down the edges so much. So yeah, do that first before you start, and then paint, and then pop it in the fridge. And yes, you might need, or you probably will need, one of these Zenka. It's a scraper. You get a couple of them on Amazon for a couple of quid. Okay, so here we go. This has been in the fridge once, so we're just going to go around and paint it again. We're just thickening the shell up. Professional chocolatiers would be using tempered chocolate, and they would be using a polycarbonate mould, so they would probably only give it one coating. But we're not using tempered chocolate and we're not using polycarbonate moulds. We're working with what we've got. We're doing the easiest option available to us, and so we're going to do a few layers. You're just making it thick enough so that when you take it out of the mould once you've filled it, that it's not going to crack and break up. Because believe me, there is nothing more frustrating than when you've spent so much time making your chocolates and then you take them out of the mould and the chocolate cracks and the filling oozes out. So just spend that little bit of time making sure that you've got a nice thick shell. You don't want it too thick obviously, but So here we go, this is it. It's been in the fridge having had two paintings, and you can see that you can still see the silicone mould coming through the chocolate. That sounds gross, doesn't it? Mould coming through the chocolate, you know what I mean? So just give it another paint. It's going to look a little bit messy in there, but it really doesn't matter. Nobody's going to see that bit, And when you've done that, pop it in the fridge, chill it again, and then you can fill it. You can use a liquid filling. Here I'm using a truffle, which isn't good enough for you to use yet, so that will be coming soon. Don't fill it all the way to the top, give yourself a little gap, and then pour the chocolate in, making sure that it's all the way around to seal it. And then you're going to bang it to get any air bubbles out, and that's it, And then you can use a scraper to scrape up any excess. You don't have to do that. If you want to leave that on as an extra thick layer, you can do. Then it's into the fridge. You're going to want to leave these for a really good length of time to set properly. That's what it looks like, nice and shiny. And here's what it looks like inside. So that's pretty cool really, isn't it? So have fun playing and see you next video.